Then TD9 is down here. This is our one we've been tracking since last week that came up through the islands. Here is
way down here off the map. We have Tropical Depression 99L last week that we talked a lot about, and that is going to bring a lot of rain.
This is silly. If there were such an object, anybody could see it.
Well, hi, let's go. Here we go.
See this big dip in the jet stream?
We have some updated information for you, very important information for those of you following 99L. It has been upgraded. It is now Tropical Depression 9.
So here is the latest on Tropical Depression 9, the storm that everybody's been watching.
Who's going to be dealing with this storm system? Well,
impacts will be felt most likely throughout that entire cone shape.
Here's what you need to know for Tropical Depression 9. We're starting first with the wind.
Right now, the latest guidance has this as around a 60-mile-an-hour storm.
This is the implications. A system that's coming through the warm water, intensifying as it's heading toward the coast, will have a lot of wind developing with it. Okay, the wind will be intensifying as it's coming toward the coast.
Those winds are important because they're going to be a driving factor for storm surge. We could see over 3 feet of storm surge in the Big Bend of Florida.
And those winds would continue through Disneyland, Disney World, Disney whatever, down through Disney. It will go through there, and then it will go over to the East Coast, okay?
It's going to be a really rough day Thursday in northern parts of Florida.
Here's a look at the Florida impacts. Isolated rainfall, yeah, it could be up to 15 inches with flash flooding likely. Also, can't rule out tornadoes.
In any case, heavy rainmaker.
See all this moisture concentrated around the thunderstorms.
You know, the models kind of make it into something.
Already experiencing rough surf on the Atlantic side, but that's due to a different tropical system altogether.
And after it emerges from Florida and Georgia, we're talking about it still maintaining tropical storm status over and near coastal Georgia, South Carolina, Jacksonville, Florida. So you need to be aware of impacts there as well.
Impacts will be felt most likely throughout that entire cone shape.
What do you think of that?
This is silly. If there were such an object, anybody could see it.
This is the most fantastic story I've ever heard.
Stay cool. This is a Thor News presentation. Deal with it.
Wait.
Starting to see pictures, ain't you?
Every day we have, of course, a little bit extra of concerning news.
It is going to take this curve across Florida, maybe southern Georgia, and it will continue to cause problems at the beaches and lots of rain in Florida and then up the southeast coast in the wake of Tropical Depression 8. So the southeastern part of the country definitely going to be impacted over the course of really the next week or so.
Ladies and gentlemen, here I am talking about Tropical Depression number 9. I'm not a number. I'm a free man, and we're talking about the weather, where no one is free from its clutches. Tropical Depression 9 was the much talked about weather wonder that meteorologists discussed all last week. It was called Invest 99, and sometimes words do not accurately describe things. And I don't know if I'd call this one a tropical storm, a hurricane, or just a giant earth splotch of water wetness and moisture. We are watching the entire Gulf Coast, the Atlantic coast, and it looks like there has been a lot of rain there and will continue to be a lot of rain there. And this is kicking off the Wet Water Super Bowl for now. We'll have at least a winter to come up with some plans. I would guess that might even be optimistic. I don't know. I blame September. September, why are you always so doomy? Anyway, I'll let the professionals talk to you about this storm. I'm just saying, the Weird Weather Watch is at its highest level notch because the oceans look crazier than I've ever seen them. Which is cool, man. Are they crazy good or crazy bad? Stay tuned. We're going to find out. What? Pay attention. This is important.
Notice the flare-up in activity here.
You can see we've actually got a decent amount of spin that's going on in this storm right now. It's starting to wrap up a little bit. You see this little kind of tail almost on the bottom end of it starting to wrap up.
Here's what we do know. Higher winds, higher surf, higher waves, rip currents a possibility along the Gulf Coast of Florida. Localized flooding, heavy downpours, and some strong gusty winds.
They've already posted tropical storm watches and hurricane watches.
You get a surge of wind coming across Florida from NASA Space Center to Tampa Bay on northward.
There's the upper high drifting east, and this is what I'm looking for. A push west all the way into Tuesday, and then
Starts to get its act together by Wednesday.
You want to see what water temperatures look like?
Warm ocean heat sitting here in the way of 9, okay, has to go through that.
They're plenty warm enough.
So that's where it's going to intensify when it hits that.
We'll see how much it hooks. Does it come this way? Does it go that way? I'm not sure.
Now, this is expected to become a tropical storm before landfall.
But again, the storm isn't expected to make landfall until we get to Thursday, where it will bring a resurgence of some soaking rain for parts of the Sunshine State.
Banded showers and thunderstorms coming across the Midwest and the Northeast on Wednesday.
Now, this whole thing is getting steered by a trough that's up to the north, so this will start to take a northeasterly turn by later this week,
allowing more room for the storm to hook back to the north and east.
And eventually, this might end up off the east coast, just kind of churning and causing some issues for parts of South Carolina and Georgia.
Now, here's the thing. It may maintain that strength as it then exits, goes across Georgia and then South Carolina here.
These systems are always difficult.
Stay cool.